and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace. A brave few won the hearts of conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. This, an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and the gladiator would be king.
Oh, hey, how's it going there? Hi, didn't see you there. Let me see if you can see me here. All right, Mark is not here yet, but we've got an Adam, and we've got an Ahmed. There are their shiny faces. I love how this gets reset every single time. Every time! I'm going to unmute the mic. Starting now-ish. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Dread and Circus campaign, season 3, episode 18. I'm your DM host Marty, joined by Adam and Ahmed today. How is everyone doing?
What
I had the best cheat meal in so long. I went to this little breakfast shop in Whitby called Fart. It's awesome. Food Art Cafe.
It's called Fart?
Fart. It's Food and Art Cafe. Fart. It's got like art and stuff inside, and it's a quirky little family that runs it. And I had a giant stack of pancakes and eggs and hash browns and
Because it's like,
scones.
I'm hungry. I wish someone would fart in my face.
I need a fart. It's like the big fart is one of the menus on the thing, and whatever. But it was so good, and it was. I added up. It was something like 1,800 calories of breakfast. It was awesome. So
Hearty
so
breakfast
good.
right there.
So many carbs. It was 3 days worth of carbs in one meal.
It is significant.
One stroke later.
Ahmed, please tell me you're not eating farts. What's going on with you?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a couple of friends come out of town, hung out for the last few days, but everyone is sick today. So, I'm here.
Got it.
It was good.
I'm
Days off work.
I'm recovering from the cold of colds, so if you hear me sniffling, apologies, but I'm at least upright today.
Dang.
I didn't take any time off. I worked from home, and it was just miserable. What else can I tell you? Yesterday I did watch a series called Black Summer. It is a zombie show.
Oh, the Netflix.
The Netflix one. Yep.
Yeah. Is
That
it
one.
good?
It's pretty good.
It's on my list, yeah.
My favorite part of zombie shows is when civilization is starting to fall apart. It's not after it's fallen apart. It's like that period of time where it's starting to disintegrate, and I like that. It's the beginning
Transition.
part. It is the transition where it's most interesting.
I was with my friend and we were looking at the numbers. It's like people wouldn't really, like resources and food and stuff wouldn't really be a problem.
Because the people who are dying aren't consuming resources.
Exactly.
Now,
As long as they
what would be a problem? And this show kind of you get the sense that everyone had spent the last month or two barricaded in their homes.
Yeah.
And then everyone starts to come out, and it doesn't hit everywhere at once. That's where things get dicey. Power is flaky for a couple of months. There's just
Where's the show set?
it's in the States somewhere.
Not like
Oregon.
like a suburbia, not like New York City.
No,
New York City
but
runs out of water in
get out
90 minutes
Yep.
if the trucks stop. Like, you'll have food shortages in major cities no matter what.
Yeah, they were on the edge. They were on the edge of a bigger city, but I'm not saying it's like New York. It wasn't Texas. It was kind of.
Somewhere.
It could have been in California somewhere. It seemed like everyday town somewhere flat. Not too warm, not too cold.
Are they living alive people who are sick and hungry and violent, or are they dead people that are walking? Or maybe you shouldn't answer.
It is the zombies are slightly different from the from Walking Dead.
Cool.
They don't explain why, but I get the sense that it's some sort of biological contamination that probably, like, someone will get in a car accident, they'll die, but then they're almost like cured of it when they become a zombie. Like, normal injuries don't bother them.
They're the alternative Wolverine.
Oh, and they're very aggressive. They're not slow moving, shuffly, kind of like they're fucking speed zombies. They run as fast as humans do.
So, I started playing God of War, the new one.
Yep.
It's a year old now. It's basically Kratos is now in like Norway.
Daycare.
And he's basically he's in Midgard, and he had a wife, he's got a kid, and the game is really well paced, and the fights are amazing, and the opening sequence where you fight Baldur is like Odin sends Baldur to fuck your shit, and then you have like a half-hour fight against Baldur that's like amazingly cinematic and awesome.
Cool.
It makes me want to play Euchre because I'm fucking a god and I'm fucking over other gods and
the Great Planner War. The Great Planner War is going to happen. Legends Planner War is in the planning stages. We need to figure out.
Such an asshole. Oh my god, he deserved to die.
Well, that was their interpretation of Baldur. Baldur was supposed to be a very well liked god in that pantheon, but
yeah, no, he's a highly charismatic foe in this
Yep.
who feels no pain, which makes it very difficult to murder when you're both gods.
Because he's laughing at you when you're yeah, yep. I usually don't share funny stories like this, but this is a short one. Getting older sucks. You know what I found today? A white nose hair. just saying. I'm like, this fucker's white. And I just sort of stood there and looked at it for a while. I'm like, oh shit. Have fun with that, Adam. I know you're right around the corner.
We're staving it off with exercise and good food.
Yep. Just
and
don't.
Lots of food.
Just don't tilt your head down.
No,
I think you're closer to Ahmed than closer to me at this point. But
this it's like Jessica's like, it's not getting worse. It's like if I go from the peak here and I draw down, I intercept my ear.
Yeah, I still have lots.
Fall down around the back of your eyes, sort of where that's where it's supposed to go.
I tend to keep it kind of all wrapped up, but I still have it. So that's good. All right. Okay, why don't we do a quick recap of what happened last game, episode 17, The Bloody Rose, the Tournament of the Blood.
I got this text from Jessica. I don't know if that's coming through clear. No, it's not. Just stop thinking about it. That's not how the world works. This is
Hi, Jessica. Tournament of the Blood Rose begins. Cid spies on Inquisitor Caleb Goodman and finds out what he's been up to. The Conclave spies on the Coalition of the Black Crucible, Teehee. Phineas makes arrangements with Countess Opel and the Magister should he meet an untimely demise. Phineas later meets with the Duke and is tasked with finding the Cradle of Shadows no matter what the cost. Ajax wields a cursed sword of berserking in the arena with potential catastrophic results. Zed intervenes. And I think that is where we left off this particular turn.
That's one of those, like...
And Arlen is implicated.
This is one of those, like, Adam didn't want Zed to intervene, but Zed needed to...
Yep. You saw what could have been, and the irony here is that Arlen was saved a lot of grief by the actions of Zed. And that's why it's a role-playing game and not a movie. We don't script this thing to be the most dramatically possible, as we'll just move on to other dramatic things.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a dramatic thing of, like, what the fuck with this.
Yeah, there's still some conflict, and conflict equals drama. Okay, let's look at the Conclave sheet for this particular week and see if we were finished doing a thing. Let's see. The Conclave looks like there was a few other minor things to do for week 5 of the autumn season. Did we roll the random event or not?
Yeah, we're at 80% random event.
Okay.
Yeah,
and we haven't rolled it yet.
Okay, and I've got Fleas is at the tournament, so yeah, that first week of the tourney has gone by, and Fleas had his match. I think Zargon is just idle.
Now, question.
Yep.
The tourney's every second week, right? So we can Medicus in the middle?
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, a week off, but not everyone is fighting in the second week. So if we want to go to the tournament of the Blood Rose...
Okay.
Week 1 is the left-hand side. The Westerlies get to fight. Week 2 is the Easterlies get to fight. Week 3, the winners of the Westerlies. Week 4, the winners of the Easterlies.
So it's every second week. The fighters get a chance to, like,
rest.
lick their wounds.
Yeah, lick their wounds in between. Yep.
Have a nap. So
want to do that tonight. They're actually one turn behind
Okay.
in timeline. So
before I have to fight Titus, because I'm assuming that's how that's going to go, I need to know what Titus does, and my characters are in the place looking at him fight, so I want to know what
right.
spells
So
he casts,
so we need to finish that. We need to finish that fight. So we'll probably do that right away. Once we get a few of the stream.
Be next stream session, whatever. I just need I need the Cole's notes of what Titus could do.
Yep. Yeah, because Fleas and Barrack Tarn aren't going to fight until week 3.
That'll be the epic. In the name of Ashoka, no, that's not happening. In the name of all that is good, that Magnus, screw you, Barrack.
Riznar also fights Quailsy in the next week. The last thing, it looks like the last thing that we need to do is the roll for the 80% for the random event. So let's do that now.
Is random event.
Okay, let me open up that sheet. Percentile: high is good, low is bad.
Go ahead, Adam.
Come on, 100. 4.
We are having 4 events.
Okay.
Sounds like you're gonna have a day like I did last time.
Don't worry. Your previous Primus loses a toe.
Okay, 4 is a disaster. Give me a percentile.
Well, shitty.
Wait, for who is this?
We don't know yet.
No, for which
Conclave.
72.
One of the masters has a disastrous event.
Just bring it on. Just bring it. How bad can it get?
Magnus gets the plague.
Yeah, so the masters, this is weird. Ashoka is 1, Phineas is 2, Magnus is 3, Damian is still considered a master, he's 4, Zed is 5, Cid is 6.
Oh god, Twitch, that is so loud. Sorry. Oh my god, they played an ad and it was so loud.
6. So, do I have all the masters? Radimer is 7, because I think he's still part of the master's pool. So give me a D7.
Which one was?
It's in the order on the OneNote.
Ah, damn it. 6
Is
Damian?
No.
Come on, Damian.
Ashoka 1, Phineas 2, Magnus 3, Damian 4, Zed 5, Cid 6.
Cid. Not me. That's not me. Sorry, Impe. That's what you get for getting a phone call during the game. Karmic justice.
Okay, so Cid, what area of concern does Cid have a personal disaster? Give me a D12.
Ahmed, I think you have to roll now.
Yeah, 8.
Interesting. Sid's has a disastrous fallout on a particular relationship. Cid doesn't have many relationships.
Vogel.
There's
The
only
only
like
relationship I've got.
3. Or you could do the cruel, like, his hand has gone numb or something.
Yeah, let me roll a couple more things, and we'll find something that makes sense.
Because the disastrous fall with Vogel is basically bad.
Yeah, it's like Sid's gone. Why don't you come to my vault? Oh, that's...
Please lay down on the table.
he could try that serum and it could do something really bad.
Turns him into Vogel.
Okay, let's go and do this now. So Cid is hiding out at the Tower of the Sage, right?
Yep.
Okay. Phineas is dealing with other stuff, and it's just Undwin at the Tower of the Sage at this moment. And of course, there's like the tower is busy, lots of clerks and mages and people coming and going. But there's a knock on the door. This is the room that Cid spends time in, and Undwin knows that you spend time there.
Do you answer the call?
Undwin. Master Cid, are you there?
Undwin. Hey. What do you want?
His big fluffy dog just looking at you and barks once. It's all right. It's just Cid. It's just staring at you now weirdly. It doesn't quite act like it acts like a very smart dog. Don't worry, Benson's the best dog ever.
Right on, Benson.
It cocks its head off to the side and continues to look at you. You have a visitor.
He's like,
Ooh.
He's a really creepy guy wearing Inquisitor's robes.
Like bluish gray skin kind of deal.
He's weird looking. He says his name is Inquisitor Goodman.
Fuck.
There's a relationship that.
I don't think you're allowed to blame Ashoka for this one.
oh. Cid coughs loudly.
I think he has an imp with him. Sort of like Ashoka. Ashoka has an imp, right? It's an imp?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got one too.
Yeah.
Oh, shit balls.
Do you want him to come into your room, or he's waiting in the gallery?
I will be right there. I'll be right there. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
I'll tell him you'll join him shortly.
Okay. Let's start drinking mutagen.
I think he's looking at the broken staves of former masters, and he just closes the door.
Cid's buff. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. My next character. Let's see.
This Manson guy has been built up so high.
This
He's
guy.
very creepy. He's very intimidating.
All right, so
He's very well built.
Cid's going to do his freedom of movement. His what else we got here? See Invis, Mutagen, Mark Skin, Heightened Awareness, Mage Armor, Comprehend Languages.
Cid walks out, talks to the guy. The guy's like got arcane sight up, but is like, "The fuck is going on?"
I always dress for the occasion. Yeah. And yeah. And my mutagen. Oh, delay poison, delay poison, delay poison. I'll drink my delay poison. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I didn't make it. Okay. I'll take my 30 seconds and I'll make my communal.
Okay.
Poison. And I'll drink that.
So you're drinking a bunch of potions beforehand.
Shit.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's like he was called into a meeting with the IRS. Oh shit! Take receipts. Where are all the receipts?
I didn't save all my receipts. Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the Mage's Tower.
Okay, you turn around a corner and you can see that there are a bunch of like little exhibits at this end of at the end of the tower. It's sort of a curving hallway on the outside wall of the tower. In the exhibits behind glass and on nice pillows are like the broken items of like old staves that belong to important wizards in the city. You can see a particular display with perhaps a broken staff of the Magi, like a previous incarnation of the staff that Phineas now wields. And you do just notice that he's sort of looking at it. There is perched kind of up high on a column is this imp whose wings look like they're on fire.
That's the one. He's the one I smelled.
Caleb just simply nods slightly, and then the creature disappears. If you've got see invisibility, you can still see it sitting there.
I do.
It is very interesting. Our fascination with broken things. He remarks it.
It's useless now. It can be just tossed away. But that's not for me to come to decide on.
Is that what you do with broken things of great significance? Toss them away. Have you no
Significant or
sense?
not, it has no power.
Ah, but there you are wrong. It has the power to teach, the power to motivate, the power to remind us of the folly of those that came before us. This staff was destroyed when the Imperium came. It is a reminder that even archwizards cannot stand against the might of our undying Emperor.
Good point. I wasn't here to see it, but sure. Good point, I give you that.
I have a nose for such things. My little friend here has a nose for other things as well.
I see.
You're with the Conclave of Crimson Scale, are you not?
Well, let's just say I don't stay there any longer.
Are you under the protection of the Grand Magus? Or the Grand Mage of Vatapor? Is there a particular reason why you've taken up residence here at the Tower of the Sage?
Well, we used to work together. And he understood that I required some privacy. He was more than happy to accommodate me.
Ah. Powerful friends you have, Cid.
Thanks.
Are you feeling quite right? There
Why
appears
do
to
you
be
say
something
that?
wrong
Why
with
do you
your
say
back.
It's a birthing issue.
Ah. Give me a bluff check.
It was, because when I was birthed from the tube,
It's my tube, Mark.
my tube.
Your belly button.
Bloof. Okay. $31.
Ooh, nice. Indeed, most unfortunate. A difficult thing to cure. A gift or a curse at birth.
You live with it. Just what you end up getting dealt.
As must we all. I see that your curiosity has followed you from Cantoport. It is a lawless place there. Don't worry. The Imperium will eventually get tired of it and wipe it from the map.
Get a bunch of assholes there anyways.
Yes. All sorts of scourges. Where lycanthropy, doppelgangers, cheats,
Liars.
rebels. I certainly hope that you're not one of those things.
Oh no. No.
A young Inquisitor could very well make his career cleaning that city out of filth.
Is that what you did? Or want to do?
No, I have already made a name for myself, and my concerns are a little less terrestrial.
Alright. What are your interests then?
You've stuck your nose into business that isn't yours, while at the same time, strangely, it is.
Oh. No. Business in the city. Who knows what someone can run into while they're flying around?
The Inquisition has a task for you.
No.
A task that you are well suited to perform. A task for which you will be rewarded.
Really?
Every time the barbarian Magnus fights, you are to give him this potion when he is done.
No.
And he kind of grasps at a little case at his side. 3 drops shall do. In food, water, alcohol even shall work. I understand you're an alchemist.
Yes, I am. This wouldn't be hard to do. Magnus is a buffoon. He couldn't see a fly sitting on his nose.
You are not of skill or means to replicate what is inside this potion. I would not try it out on anyone else unless you wanted certain ill effects.
Alright.
Cid puts his hand out.
I half expected a little bit of a fight from you, but now I see your spine actually shows your true colors. Twisted and bent, in a bowing position.
You're a funny one, Caleb. Maybe Magnus was not my friend to start off with.
No, I see you have much higher friends in mind. Know that you play a dangerous game. I would work on your craft, lest you end up where Magnus is. Or better yet, where he almost went. This shall be the price of his freedom to return to his ludus. Make no word of this. One of the other Inquisitors will deliver Magnus shortly to Ashoka and make whatever deals the Church requires.
After every fight, a drink from this.
Yes.
And when it runs out,
I will provide more.
my payment.
It will be forthcoming.
Good. I will leave a message for you.
Yes.
Where can I find you? The church, possibly?
I will find you.
Alright then. It's a date.
I hope you don't displease me, Cid.
Okay, go upstairs.
The hateful little thing invisibly looking at you. I don't know if you speak Infernal.
I have comprehend languages up.
Okay. It's constantly going, you'll burn, you're gonna burn.
Fuck that thing.
Yeah. No, he's not on the path of politeness. Little fiery winged imp. He seems much more aggressive than Nem.
I have to get some special bolts for that one.
He's just staring at you.
Is there anything else that you wanted?
Yes, but nothing else that you can provide me.
Ooh. Good luck with it. If I can't do it.
A pleasant day to you, Cid.
Ooh, and to you, Caleb.
He nods to you and strides confidently from the hall. His little imp, kind of darting down above your head. You could feel a little bit of heat coming off of its wings.
Watch yourself, little one.
What is the potion?
Okay, you're gonna go have a look at it. Give me a alchemy check.
Sure.
Tell me, love potion, love potion,
Oh
love
my
potion.
god. I rolled a nat 1. 31.
The potion provides strange nutrients to an aquatic creature.
Do I know about the items that Phineas found?
It's not quite an aquatic creature. We'll say it's give me a knowledge planes.
Aberrant creature?
Don't have knowledge planes.
Doesn't know things.
Do you have dungeoneering?
Dungeoneering, yeah, nature. Dungeoneering it is. 25, Bob.
Okay. I need to look something up. $25?
Yeah.
The aquatic creature is also, I believe, aberrant, but I'm going to double check. Yep. It provides nutrients to an aquatic aberrant creature. That's what the potion does. And then give me a perception check as you're examining the potion.
Now, question: Can I get a? Can I get to re-roll this again?
If their
I think.
circumstances are different, give me a perception check.
And is there something inside of it? Perception. It's a trap. Is it a trap?
So there is a case. There are 3 vials, and you're looking at the first vial.
Is it
All three of them are the same. No, it's not a trap.
Okay. Or I could. It's this plus 8 if it's a trap. So. Wow, good stuff there, Cid. 14, solid 14. Good performance coming out of the.
That was your perception check. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you were left confused about the potion. I'm assuming that's where you don't understand why you're feeding aquatic nutrients to Magnus.
Do I know about the thing that Magnus went through?
What
thing in
thing?
his head, like being the finger crumbing up his neck. That he was touching the statue for. I don't know if that was common knowledge in the Ludus Masters or not.
It was done in the tower, and Ashoka was there, so I don't know any reason why Cid wouldn't be knowing about it.
Okay.
Like, Ashoka knows about it.
Oh, are
Undwin
you
knows about it.
talking about the 3 statues that
Statues,
just
yeah.
recently Phineas has been? Sure. I'm assuming that there's some sharing of knowledge.
Okay. I want to see what's in this potion. If I don't understand it, maybe Phineas. Let's see.
Okay, do you want to mark down 3 vials of aquatic aberrant nutrients?
Give me a sec. Oh, we're gonna send this to. We're sending so much of this to what's his name?
What is it? Because it's not.
Consumables. Gear.
We're basically going to have a scene from
3 vials.
Total Recall.
Aberrant.
It's got like a little dude inside of him. He's got a little tadpole.
Aberrant. Aquatic. Nutrients.
Okay. To end out the turn, Ashoka receives a letter from the Church of the Five-Faced God. This is from an Inquisitor by the name of Inquisitor Lucius. On behalf of the office of the Archbishop, he wants to meet to discuss the detainment of Magnus and the situation going forward.
All right. Ashoka will... Was it addressed just to Ashoka, or was it addressed to the masters of the...
No, it was addressed to Ashoka Lannister of the Conclave of Crimson Scale.
All right.
And holder of Magnus's contract.
See, if they actually give Magnus to us, then we have to be a little bit more careful with what we do with Magnus, because when they hold him, they just blame the church for it. But if we actually have the Magnus, then making him, do a KY wrestling match.
Okay. Magnus, your training was interrupted a little bit as you're pretty sure they started feeding you weird poisons, and you ended up passing out.
Okay.
Magnus, you wake up after passing out. Finally, we've established they could just deny you water, and eventually you pass out.
Yep.
You're in a wagon. You're wrapped in chains. There are two nervous-looking guards in the back of the wagon with you. It's like a covered prison wagon. You can hear horses, soldiers marching. You're on the move.
So you're gonna do away with Magnus. This is how you're gonna do it.
The guards glance towards you, but they obviously have been instructed not to speak to you. They then kind of stare forward.
Isn't usually like a final meal or something? I mean, at least the final whore, come on.
Quiet, says one of them. He doesn't like your joke.
See how you feel, it's your turn.
Yeah, you notice that they've got heavy maces. Oh, to get your hands on one of those things. It'll beat the chains open, beat their brains open.
Okay, I'm manacled, sure.
Okay.
What do I hear outside?
The cobbles of a street. You kind of...
Vatapole. Is it still Vatapole?
It could be. You can hear lots of people moving. You could hear them. You hear the soldiers, out of our way, in the name of the Archbishop.
Tell them it's in the name of Magnus.
One guard glances at the slightly older guard, the one who's telling you to shut up. Like are you gonna do anything? And the answer is no. Let's bring.
Did not come be good for you guys.
Oh, well, the meet was at our place? Okay.
Yeah. They kind of send a letter ahead that they will be there soon.
Oh, prepare for company.
And you notice Deacon Nordstrom is with the Inquisitor. He was your previous priest.
He was the one who was being mean to the
gladiators.
being
Yeah.
a dick to all the gladiators.
And then you fired him.
Yep.
And changed your worship to Cord. Changed the worship of your ludus to Cord, and then I'm just gonna delete Manic Baden. There's no need for a tree and corpse.
Master, how very polite for them to tell us that they're on the way here.
Yes, we should prepare. Gracchus,
Yeah.
could you come up here, please? Zed, keep the gladiators away from our guests.
All right. All right, everyone, back into the barracks. You see Sona yelling out orders, kind of thing. He's a well-respected gladiator. He listens. He also doesn't want to be traded. You notice Zargon is out in the square when you went to the balcony.
Yep.
I don't know if you're hiding him away.
Zargon. Okay.
Are we expecting visitors?
Yes. Priests.
Okay, Zargon growls a little bit. His eyes narrow. He's looking at the door. One of the Zverf-Neblin servants comes. Ban Labrie comes up. Master, there is a Inquisitor by the name of Inquisitor Lucius, as well as Deacon Nordstrom at the gate. They have many guards. I counted 16.
16 guards.
Including the drivers, they are all armed.
Okay.
It is a prisoner wagon.
Presents. Ashoka will go and meet them at the gate.
Okay, without letting them into your Ludus, you go and meet them at the gate.
Yep.
Inquisitor Lucius looks like he rode a horse. There is a guard holding onto the reins of his horse, and you notice that Deacon Nordstrom kind of gives you a sneer when you appear. Inquisitor Lucius, Master Ashoka.
Inquisitor, Deacon.
I assume a messenger has delivered the message.
Yes, I was expecting not quite this number. Would you like to come in?
It would be agreeable. Maintain guard. Close off the street there and there. Deacon, you can remain outside. The deacon looks pissed that he wanted to go in.
Ashoka will nod to the deacon before turning.
Yep.
Lead the Inquisitor up to the room where the stuff happens.
Yep. Nem is in raven form and kind of sitting on top of like a bird stand, acting like a pet, being all polite.
Very polite.
Very polite.
Ashoka gives him a nod. Good job, Nem.
Gracchus is there in his armor, just sort of arms crossed, just nods slowly. Inquisitor Lucius like paused when he saw Gracchus there, and Gracchus got all 4 of his arms crossed or whatever.
If you wish, I could dismiss him.
That is fine. It is your Ludus. I understand the need for security. Things tend not to go well for Lannisters when gladiators revolt.
Yes. Not something that we really want happening.
No, which is segues nicely into the conversation that we are about to have relating to Magnus.
Yes.
The church has deemed him no longer a threat. However, it is up to you to make sure that it remains so.
And might I inquire as to what are the conditions that would cause him to be a threat?
The Archbishop had arrested him under suspicion of religious heresy. The last thing we want is Magnus to become a martyr to those who do not agree with the blood tax, as well as... Give me a sense motive, as he's kind of just giving you reasons that don't sound like real reasons.
Stuff is happening. Alright, I will... 30?
Okay, he believes what he's saying. The conditions are, he will remain under your lock and key for the remainder of the season. His status as a subject to be renegotiated, reconsidered, that's the word he uses, at the end of the season. You, as his owner, you are personally responsible for his actions. And we will be watching closely for any duplicitous or aberrant behavior.
Understood.
There is still hope for barbarians like Magnus. There are entire worlds where there were humans who had their strange and local beliefs, who have turned to the worship of the five-faced god. A generation or two perhaps it will take, for most on Avicea. If the Corsicans continue to be so willful, the Imperium has other ways of dealing with them. Pastoria, if you believe the peasants, is the breadbasket of the Imperium, not because of the skill of the farmers, but because of the richness of the soil fed by 1,000 years of bloodshed.
Perhaps I should consider it as a location for retirement, when
Yes.
that time comes.
Land is at a premium in Pastoria. Perhaps even they would let a subject such as yourself purchase some. I assume your business here is lucrative. You were able to read him. He has doubts that a snake man like you will be able to buy a manor on Pastoria. But
Tea? Something stronger?
no. Are you prepared to receive the prisoner and slave gladiator Magnus?
Yes. His equipment. Speaking of finances.
Ah, yes. You will find it all accounted for. Please let me know if there's anything missing. Accidents do happen.
The equipment was taken off and given to the Ludus. Magnus didn't go in with it. Took it off before they captured him.
Oh,
You're-
that's right.
You went in naked.
Yep.
Easy. Everything that he had with him, loincloth and all.
Bits of his armor probably were still on him. I don't think you had half an hour to like take off your armor or whatever. What is it? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah. His equipment, what little of it was taken with him, is here. Do you have any questions, Ashoka? I want to make sure that this is quite clear.
How... Restrictions on his movement. Restrictions on travel. Restrictions on contact with others.
Well, I would suggest enrolling him in fights in the arena. I assume he will maintain his gladiatorial status. It will be the best chance for us to observe him.
And after the season, he will be...
He will be brought before a council of his religious betters. He gives you like a document that also explains all of this.
Yeah, I assume that he is not tradable nor sellable.
No.
Saleable at this point.
We would very much like a trusted and known entity to manage Magnus going forward. We can renegotiate this point during his tribunal.
Understood. Always a pleasure to act in the name of the Five-Faced God.
The Archbishop wishes to make sure that he has not put out your ludus financially. I assume that 5 weeks into a season, there is still enough time remaining for Magnus to have his requisite number of fights.
Magnus isn't on the gladiator list.
We will need to have the books adjusted to get him enrolled. We did move our gladiators around to accommodate.
Ah. Yeah, he obviously doesn't
He's not a, yeah.
micromanage the gladiators.
Exactly. There will be some paperwork involved, but we should be able to get the fights in.
Then I'll tell the Archbishop that the money he was ready to provide as recompense to your ludus shall instead be a charitable donation to the church. In your ludus's name.
Of course.
He nods. He glances at the bird who's sitting there kind of all politely and attentively. He gives like a curt bow and then leaves. Zargon is hiding in his little den. The Inquisitor comes out. Remove the prisoner.
Zed, if you kindly. We're gonna get Zed and Gracchus
Okay.
to help.
Easy now, Magnus. Easy. We're bringing you home.
Who's saying this?
The younger guard in the back.
Home. Where are you taking me?
We're at
Sending me north?
We're at the conclave.
Really? Yeah, all right.
Magnus is a little bit off. He's got a splitting headache this day.
Magnus.
They gave you something. They loop two man catchers around your neck. Two guards with poles are kind of like pulling Magnus out. You're pretty sure you can pick up. You're pretty sure you can pick these two guys up. Yeah, Magnus has got manacles on. He's got chains around his feet, so he has to do like the prison shuffle. He's looking haggard and a little thinner.
Ashoka is going to turn and yell up with great concern. Fester, prepare a proper meal.
Okay.
And a bath.
The deacon goes over and grabs a pack and hands it to a soldier. This is all that he was wearing. He smiles at Magnus as Magnus shuffles over.
Magnus smiles Magnus smiles back at him like this, like.
Magnus, good to have you back. Deacon? Inquisitor?
He looks at the Inquisitor. Magnus stares back at the Inquisitor, a crazy smile.
Shall we have our guards place him in one of your cells?
We'd like to clean him up first, if that's all right.
Very well. Custody of this prisoner is now complete. Transfer of the custody of this prisoner is now complete, is what he says. I mean, it's kind of half question, half statement. He's looking straight at Ashoka.
We'll nod.
Very well. He actually signs a document. He gets you to sign the document.
Okay, I signed the document.
All right.
So get me out of these things before I break them already. Come on.
The caravan continues. Like the prisoner wagon rolls off, and they return Magnus to the conclave.
Snake.
A quick thing. Ashoka's going to pull out a knife, and he's going to cut Magnus on the arm.
Okay.
What color is the blood?
Good old-fashioned red human blood.
We're going to give it a second. Is it still red human blood?
Yeah, it's kind of running down the blade of your dagger.
Oh, thinking the ones that like change, like everywhere, aren't they?
Of course.
One guard presents Ashoka with a key that was given to him by one of the other captains of the guard.
Ashoka will begin to unshackle Magnus.
Okay. The guard kind of shirks away, like he doesn't want to be
Quality-
punished. He doesn't want to be punished by Magnus by not automatically doing it himself. But
What
Yeah.
quality
Magnus.
of these devices? What quality of these locks?
they have masterwork manacles.
So what's the DC to break these? Or not break, sorry, to
To break masterwork manacles? You're curious?
no, not break, but to
Pick. Oh, the lock would be a good lock. DC 30.
Magnus.
And then you have masterwork. You have two sets. So you've got manacles that are masterwork good lock, and you've got a good lock around your feet, which basically hamper your movement probably by 10 feet because you've got to
It has
shuffle.
been difficult this season without you. Great amounts of effort were put into you securing your release.
Really, tell me, what did you do? What did you do, Ashoka? Tell me all about it.
Of course.
Actually, I don't really care. Get out of my way. Take a massive crap in a proper porcelain pot.
All right. We'll lead him towards where the bathing area is, and
Yeah, so I'm not
Citizenship
manacled or anything like that.
slave, former subject. I'm changing on Magnus's sheet.
Yeah. So no manacles or anything, right?
right,
Oh, alright.
Magnus. Once you've had a
Are
chance
you
to
gonna
eat.
follow me in the crapper? What do you want?
Yes, I will follow
Okay,
you.
so yeah, Magnus is sitting, and it's kind of like a bench with a bunch of holes in it. Like there's like less privacy, kind of a Roman crapper, like an ancient Roman crapper. You half expected Vigo to be in there because he's in there quite a bit, but you do find Phelan the Verlander sitting in the crapper.
Oh,
Magnus.
hey, Phelan, the guy is still here.
Oh, Magnus. Oh, he's just finishing up with the sponge. It's a communal sponge on a stick that you just wipe your ass with.
This is why most of us became arcane casters.
Prestidigitate. Woo!
more
Prestidigitate for
sponge
for fucking roses. Yeah, he sticks the sponge back into the bucket, which is half filled with water that gets changed every couple of
Sounds
days.
like you've also been to a few of the countries. Oh my god. The horsehair brush for your finger.
Magnus, and he just goes over and gives you a handshake. There was no washing of hands. It's normal.
How you doing?
It's normal. He's tying up his pants. Good to see you. Good to see you back.
It's good to be back.
He glances at Ashoka, lingering at the doorway to the washroom, and kind of toodles off. We'll talk later.
Yeah, I'll see you. You have to rest for a little bit. I haven't leveled yet, right?
You are one training point away from
You
leveling.
missed 1d6. You're gonna trip over a snail and get like the little bump. Oh, that's all I need to know.
Thank you, Phil.
Are you quite relieved?
I was holding it for a really long time.
Were you attempting to smuggle something?
Oh, the food there is not very good. It's very hard.
Okay,
So what the hell's
it's
going on
followed
here?
by a bunch of diarrhea.
How many weeks has it been?
A month and a half. Additionally, your ordeal is not over yet. You simply have more friendly environs for your confinement.
So I can't remember exactly why I'm a prisoner, though, right?
You remember something happened. You know that something happened when you were almost dead. But for the life of you, you can't remember it. But you know from your conversation with Dimitri that it had something to do with
Sonia.
Sonia.
Oh, will the stone suck out the modified memory? Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's like a little physical thing for the modified memory. Oh, he's got a tentacle in your brain! Ah, there's a tentacle in your brain! Alright. Brain tentacles.
You notice Magnus rubbing his temples a little bit. He doesn't look well.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel good.
Once we get the old food out of you, we'll need to put new food in you, Magnus.
Yeah, need to hold my swords again. I feel like a warrior. They give me wooden swords, Ashoka. Can you believe it? What am I supposed to do? Pick my teeth?
It was part of the arrangement. They were supposed to provide you with enough material to train.
Yeah, well, I wasn't able to fully do everything I need to do. They splintered like nothing.
We'll have to rectify that, won't we?
Seriously, the sponge is still too hard. You made softer sponge. Come on, I told you, Ashoka. Get the good stuff.
Oh, Magnus is back.
Good to see you two. Ashoka will shake his hand. His shitty hand.
So, what happened over the last month? Did we do any fights? Did we lose anybody? What happened?
We did lose people during the end of season games.
Who?
Bannock Baden.
Oh, that bastard firecaster.
Yes, the druid of the circus. Apparently his name is Grizak. First name The. Bit of a
I don't know
murder.
who he is.
There is murderous intent on those folks. They're
They're the ones that big guy, the one with the 3 arms.
yes, he slit
Yeah,
your throat while you were helpless. It's what started all this.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to challenge him personally.
Yes, although I would suggest a spell to protect you from grappling.
It's probably a good idea. Or perhaps a ring.
Additionally, old Vigo.
A spell, perhaps 50,000 gold piece ring.
It's actually 40. It's actually 40
okay,
pounds.
sure.
And I looked it up.
I'm sure you did.
I want to tattoo the backpack. Free the move.
That means there'd be no friction. It'd be like, oh.
Imagine that would be like awesome for like training, like running around and stuff. It'll just be like wherever it needs to be, it's there.
No friction. That's not good.
Succeeds all grapple checks.
Take Arlen, slip and slide.
Of course we went there.
Old Vigo has been sold to an up-and-coming Ludus. They were looking for a primary arcane caster, and they made an offer.
Oh, they take care of him? I haven't done Magnus' voice in a long time. I'm still getting there. Are they gonna take care of him? Are they good guys? Who are they?
They are young, idealistic.
He's probably gonna die with us anyway, so it's probably a good idea.
Yes. So we should put food in you, and we should catch you up on what has happened. Although there are a few pieces of this that, as I mentioned before, are still being adjudicated.
So why did they catch me? Why did they put me there? I don't remember what happened.
Maeve saved your life, but the spell behaved strangely.
Not
And-
Maeve.
Not Maeve. Sorry.
What was her name?
The healer woman. Old Chella?
Chella. Chella saved your life after you were murdered by the circus.
Oh, I have to go and thank her.
The crime with which you are being potentially acquitted of, she is very likely guilty of.
What? She saved my life. Why is that guilty?
All you know is that she was sent to a convent for rehabilitation.
She's she's at a reading education camp. She has been sent to a convent to repent her sins against the five-faced god.
You mean she's being tortured?
I'm assuming she's repenting and therefore not being tortured, but we could check in on her if you'd like.
Yeah, get Phineas to scry on her. She better be doing good. We're gonna go visit them.
We could simply talk to her if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
What would you like to tell her?
Hey, it's Magnus. What? Tell her, ask her how she's doing. Are you happy? Are you in trouble? Do you want us to come help you? What's going on?
All right, we are going to do a sending spell,
Okay.
and we are going to craft Magnus's message to Cella, and then I will let you know what I tell Magnus after the response comes in.
Got it. Are you just sending the gist of the message, or are you actually typing out the 25 words?
No, the gist of the message is basically, how are you doing? Are you happy? Like, whatever Magnus said. The gist of the message is, like...
This is Magnus.
Magnus is okay. How are you doing? What is your status? Like Ashoka at the end.
We need a saint name generator. Find a saint for me. No, that's too much work.
Saint Romulus.
A paladin name generator. Paladin name generator.
Magnus is going to be Ashoka's best friend. Best as her buds.
Charm?
Nah, do it old school. Maybe a few charms here and there.
Okay, she responds rather quietly. She says she is at the convent of Saint Vomek Ren. This place is a pit of vipers. I need to leave.
Alright, so I'm going to actually type up the gist here, just
Yep.
because this is kind of important. Sending to from Ashoka to Cella on behalf of Magnus. Our Magnus is free. Are you okay? Is basically the gist from Ashoka. The response was, is that in the chat? No, it's the convent of
It's probably a saint. Saint Vomek Ren.
Saint Omicron pit. This place is a pit of vipers. I need to get out of here.
Mark is in a world of darkness. Ahmed's in a world of gray. Everything is going nutso.
Whee!
Oh, there we go.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right.
So once Ahmed is back,
Yeah.
there will be what Ahmed gets told is what Magnus gets told.
With no chance of sense moding. Like he gets a +4, I think, because he knows Ashoka or knows Ashoka. While we're waiting for Ahmed, why don't we start planning out what you're going to do on your next turn? I am assuming that Magnus is going to complete his training for his level.
Yeah.
Ashoka, what are you doing? Ashoka and Ashoka's gazillion die spy network.
Spies, all the
yeah.
spies. All right. So
Ashoka is going to do what? This next turn. This is the turn that Damian comes back, so you guys don't know Damian is going to
be here.
Yep.
All right. So Ashoka was diplomating in the name. Oh, so Ashoka is going to. He wants to buddy with the gnome.
You still. You're talking about the gnome that has the hate on for
Phineas.
For Phineas.
Yes.
We're talking about Lanziver.
Lanziver, yeah.
So you're gonna try to spend more time with Lanziver and make overtures. Is that what you're doing, or are you asking for a favor, or you're just continuing to act like an ally of?
I am becoming. I want to act like an ally of Lanziver.
Okay.
I want to become trusted, so I would like to move myself up his diplomacy totem pole. Later, it will be simultaneously move down everyone else on the diplomacy totem pole for Lanziver.
Phineas is a giant question mark. I don't know what sort of prep Phineas is going to do after receiving commands from the Duke to recover the Cradle of Shadows, no matter what the cost. Yeah, there's a bit of pressure there. Bit of pressure. Cid, what are you doing this week?
He said after after Magnus goes into the arena.
Yep.
Oh, Cid is communicating with friggin' Vogel. Oh.
So you're going to try to fly out to his ship?
No, right in the box.
Oh, okay. Comms with Vogel. Okay. What are you actually spending your time doing, though? Because that takes almost no time.
Oh, sorry. Are we playing the week right now?
Yeah, we're playing in the week.
I'm not going to give anything to Magnus that might end up killing people in the Ludus or killing Zargon, so I need to know what the hell he's giving him. If I can't figure it out and ask Phineas, if Phineas can't figure it out,
So
ask Vogel.
you're spending your time investigating potion.
Yep.
Okay. And you're kind of well suited for this, but you might have to get other people involved, given that you kind of failed already.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, I know.
Plus 30.
Oh, that was Cid. He's going to investigate potion. Zed is doing.
Zed was planning fights previously. We don't have. Do we have anybody fighting this week?
Riznar and Quailsy are fighting this week.
Okay. So I guess his role-playing encounter will be to attend and help that fight.
Okay.
And then his action this week is going to be he wants to learn about, or he wants to, or I guess it's the other way around. He's going to, I would like to talk to Ajax. Is my role-playing encounter. I'd like to. And then for the action, it will be to.
Does anyone need training?
Does Fleas need training? I don't think so. I think he just leveled.
Yeah, Fleas actually might be tired from his fight, so he might actually need...
Fleas needs Medicus.
Medicus, yeah. You have 9 dice there.
Drell has a lower body. Can we get some on Drell? And
Fleas is on it. Fleas is in a tournament, so Fleas gets all the Medicus until.
He needs 3 dice, and we have how many? 9.
Yep. Yeah, if you gave him 3 dice, and you could give the other dice to Droll.
Like, sorry, 6. He needs 3 successes, right?
No, Fleas needs 1 success.
And Droll needs how many? Sorry, I'm trying to see
1?
where you get the. Is it just the -1? Is that
Yep.
what you're looking at?
Yep.
Okay, so why don't you just give 5 to fleas, or 6 to fleas, and 3 to Joel?
There we go.
Joel right now.
Alright, Zed is going to RP with Ajax, and I guess he will lead as his action.
Got it. He's basically replacement Magnus while Magnus was out.
Yep.
Doing his job.
Yep.
Do your job. What is Sona doing? Is he training for hit points? He's at 4 to 5 successes, I believe.
Let's
For his
train for
next
hit points.
Okay. How many training dice are you putting on him? You've got 7?
So let's put 7 on him again.
Or 11, including Arcane?
Let's quickly check. Does anybody else need training? No. Does Droll have a Gestalt yet? Wait a sec.
Thrall does not have Gestalt.
Is he missing ability scores?
Don't know. We'll have to
Or do we
look
just
at
have
his
to
character
pick
sheet.
a Gestalt for him? Give me a second. No, he's missing ability scores.
Yeah, he needs 4 more ability scores before he has Min Abil.
All right, so he gets 4 more, and Ahmed.
Yeah.
Troll could really use. What would we give Droll?
Gargoyle, huh?
You give him a +2 strength and a +2 dex.
Give me a second.
We give him.
Droll. Is your thing here?
Hell, we could just max out his. We give him 3 strength and a dex.
What level is he?
6.
He's right now 6, so he's gonna get another point.
So this base +1/+1. What's that? Were those +1s the training +1s?
I think those were past training.
Okay.
Yeah, those are
Alright.
Droll stats right now.
He's very confused. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to train Droll for ability scores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which ability score?
Wait,
Strength.
Droll's getting
Strength?
Medicus.
Oh, Droll's getting Medicus. Okay, we'll Medicus him this time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll give him.
Then we'll train him. Train the shit out of him.
What's his con like? 18.
Okay, Zargon wants to visit Phineas for his RP encounter. I think otherwise he's idle.
Okay.
Scarab is probably resting after his fight.
Yep. For Ashoka's
I think
playing activity,
I think we'll pull 2 Medicus off of
please.
Fleas to put on Scarab.
Okay.
Scarab's not down. is it?
Yeah, I forgot to put him down after his fight.
I don't think he got hurt in this fight.
Yeah, it's still tiring. It's tiring being that good.
Tiring being that awesome. No. For the activity for Ashoka, he would like to speak with the I guess we don't know about the Asmodeans yet. He wants to do a check to see who could do a regenerate in town.
So RP, you want to find a regenerate?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see.
I
Why.
think Nim deserves a cookie.
All right, training resources. You were going to put it all on Sona as he's trying to train for his hit points?
Yeah. And we'll see if we can blast through a couple of hit points on him.
Okay, training Arcane, because he's an Arcane guy. Sure.
Yep.
So T11.
Magic more blood into your veins.
Just fucking get pelted by magic missiles all day long. Okay, spying activities. You've got the Doppelganger 6, Ashoka's Network, and then the Ludus Spy Network for a total of 30 dice.
All right. So the a 6 is going to spy on We're gonna have 6 spy on the coalition stable.
Okay, he did that last turn, right?
Yes. He specifically wants to learn about. Well, actually, how would I do this? You know what? Let's buy somewhere else because you're right. I did that last time. I want to eventually need to learn more about Paxar. Who would be upset around those fights? Nobody died. You know what? Let's send 6 to sabotage the next fight or to sabotage the paladin.
Barrack Tarn?
Barrack Tarn. Yep. As far as we know, they don't have any of their big hitters in town, so
So he's going to sabotage the fight that Barrack Tarn has on week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Okay.
The question is how?
I don't know. I think this is why we have a D6 method. I don't know if I have to say how.
Well, I think he'd be at a disadvantage because does he know he's immune to, or is he immune to poison?
Sabotage could be ruins one of his magic items, makes him late for the fight, feeds him some bad stuff. How, though, is a really good question, given that, it's a
perception.
Yep.
Like, it's not an easy one to get by.
Put tax in his mattress.
Nice. Nicely done. Hey, Fox. Kenny. How's it going? So 6 is doing that. Got it. What an asshole.
Let's make him do a thing. All right, the Ashoka network. Last week we spied on the Bay Docks. This week we're going to spy on the. I guess it would be the. So when we talk about zones, the zone around the Tower of the Sage. So would that include the chateau and sort of it would be the heights, I guess?
Yeah, you could get down to a house if you wanted to. But yeah, the heights, you could.
Yeah, let's spy on the heights.
Okay. What's the word on the streets?
Yep.
Okay. And then the Ludus Spy Network, 4 dice.
Those 4 dice are going to be spying on the. You know what? We need to keep our eyes on the old Chebagast. So beast tamers. Yep, just see what the beasts have in their stables. Someone comes back with a face full of magic missiles. It's like they became really mean.
You could join Sona in his hit point training. All right, let's get some of the easy stuff out of the way first. Sona, hit point training, go.
All right, it was 11 dice, you said?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 hit points.
6. Yep. 2 hit points are done.
All right. I'm going to Sona's sheet to increase his hit point.
I will just go quickly through the Medicuses. Fleas is fine. Scarab is fine.
And time-wise, we should get Sona +4 con item.
Drawl is fine. So I'm going to zero out all the fatigue.
The training points, if they're not being used and somebody's actually doing training, aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And then this also stacks with a con item.
Yeah, basically you're training the crappy less than max rolls that you made on your hit points as you went up in levels, and it's always 5 successes for a hit point. So that's something that the coalition should also think about doing.
I really like this rule. It lets the training do something that you should never really be able to max out unless it's like, I spent a year of downtime or whatever.
Right, like what Mark's doing for. I think he's got the training regimen of an entire season for Callie.
Right.
You are going to train. This equals you will survive. This equals you're going to get your Gestalt. Equals you're going to get a level. But you're on a training regimen from now on, Callie.
Best Sam wife ever.
Right. She'd be
She beats fast so hard.
rip jacked after a whole season of. Okay.
Oh damn.
Oh, damn. Don't tell me you took Alchemist too.
Just a level for the mutagen. I don't think she could take a mutagenic brawler because she's already a brawler. She'd have to take
a
mutagenic
warrior.
mauler. Yeah.
There's
Okay. Then we've got Ashoka. Okay, let's do the 6 sabotaging Barak Tarn. Now Barak.
As simple as getting blood from Barak Tarn. Just being Barak Tarn and being rude in public.
So, but you want to affect the outcome of the fight is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. Let me have a look at Barak Tarn's dice because I think I think this is actually opposed because he's a paladin and he can.
Well, we're gonna find out whether or not this is a suitable use of this skill real quick. Like.
Okay. Given that I think you have advantage against this, but Barak Tarn is immune to a lot of things. So he may know that someone's fucking with him. He may not know who it is. I think it's just a roll off. So 12 dice for Barak Tarn.
Ooh, you got messed up. I 2 successes.
Well, no, it's opposed.
I would never have if I would have if I would have known that it was going to be a roll off with like equal dice. That's not in Adam's blood. Okay, this is the last time we're seeing this used for a long time. Might have it. Because Jesus Christ. All right. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. So push, win, for 6. It'd be a push, win.
It's a push, win, win. If it's just comparing successes, or if we're doing like a D6 attack method.
Yep. I think you won.
I won, but not by much. But that's like the riskiest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it's never happening again.
Barak Tarn was on guard. That's what he does when he's on guard duty. So you were attacking the guy who was vigilant, whose job it was to be vigilant. And then let's see. I think there's a good table on the crit table to see what condition he has for the fight.
Exhausted. Oh my god.
Paranoid.
Paranoid.
He's so sick to spend that previous night, just with a feather on top of him because you couldn't sleep. He's like,
a feather. Have you seen his +6 natural armor? It'd be a claw hammer.
Douche. That's pretty funny.
The fleas can't beat Barak Tarn. That's the thing.
No, he's not gonna be able to.
He loses to Barak Tarn if that fight. If Barak wins his fight, fleas lose against Barak Tarn.
Okay, give me a D6. 6, it's a major condition.
2.
Okay, a D8.
2.
Weird.
Gave him a cold. Coughed his soup.
No, this is bad. So 6 comes back and says, while Barak Tarn was sleeping, he poured something into his ears. He's deafened for the fight.
This fucking guy, wax, just pour candle wax in the ear hole. That's good because spells.
So, let me go up to Conclave.
So this is to use this ability is going to be very much like Ashoka sabotages like the 5th level guy.
Trickster, 16 months. That's an insane amount of time. Glad to have you on the channel. Thanks for the support, man. Barrack Tarn, so I'm trying to find his character sheet so I can put death for next fight in tournament. Death.
Mark is trapped and he's on this. He's trying to get out. He's worried some Resident Evil shit is going down.
Okay.
He's fine.
Yeah. Okay, that was worth.
It's scary as hell, though.
Well, it was scary as hell because his action was, I'm a guard. I'm on duty to watch out for funny business. And there was some funny business.
We didn't know.
Right? It also suggests that you could put guys on high alert and kind of catch people that are
a bunch of gladiators that are sitting around and keep whipping up. No, you looking for trouble.
Okay. But six got him in the end. The Ashoka Network, trying to figure out information about the heights. Give me 14 dice. This is a little less dangerous because it's just people poking around.
1, 2, 3,
Holy
4, 5,
shit.
6, 7, 8 successes.
Okay. What are the things that you learn? Are you making notes?
Yes, I am.
You learn that several caravans of worshippers of the old gods have just simply left, headed east. This is after the kind of like weeks of confusion and the deaths amongst the worshippers of the death cult. The pits are no longer operating. That's not part of it, but like it was kind of all during that religious upheaval. Next thing you learn is that the what are they called? The token of aspect people. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Token of aspect.
Token of aspect.
They were called the Fifth Congregation. The Fifth Congregation has been working hard to proselytize the faith of the five-faced god, and the tokens of aspect have resulted in very, very large masses. Every 5 days, there is a mass, and it's begun to spill out of the Towers of Faith and onto the street.
Okay, so there's like a massive number of like a big influx into five-faced god worshipping.
That is a good point about the D6 method. We can just do this with other, like 5th edition, Pathfinder 2, Pathfinder playtest, World of Warcraft. Not World of Warcraft. What was that? World of Darkness already has like a D10 system, so I wouldn't do it there. But would it work with Legends though? Yeah, we'd just have a ridiculous number of dice and then lots of advantage or double advantage, and it would just be, yeah, you succeed. Sure. But then what is nice is that you could go, well, these two epic mythic level characters are equal. So you just bring everything back down again. You kind of refactor the dice. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's situational.
Yeah, it is situational.
Reminder, I don't know what Ashoka told Magnus about.
We didn't finish that conversation because you took a dump.
I was listening, but it's good.
Okay, let me finish the Ashoka Spy Network. We'll get to that.
Just a reminder.
House of the Broken Shield has been very busy a lot of knights have been showing up with gifts for the Lady Daystra.
I'm gonna have to deal with that, by the way. I'm gonna have to with the Destra.
That is 3 things.
Do they know of any specific gift that have been given? Or is it like flowers and stuff? Is it like magic, spell magics? Is it...
You find out that there are a lot of small packages all the way to things like old banners and letters and documents.
All right.
Okay, you learn that Dmitri Vaska has holed himself out in his home and is not accepting any visitors.
Oh, I might visit him. Hey, yeah, I remember we were in prison together. What do you mean you went to prison?
You learn that there's talk of scary visitors. Visitors that might have scared the Countess de la Plume or Countess Opel, nee de la Plume, to leave town. You'll only be able to get to act at this on that information like at the end of the turn because it kind of happens in that 5-day period. But you learn about that.
That's interesting because then it should be even easier to mess with Barrack.
You learn that Caleb Goodman paid a visit to the Tower of the Sage.
At that point, Ashoka's going to be like, "What the fuck were you guys? Why are these jackasses telling me? Do you have any interesting things to do this?"
You learn that that an important noble in the Van Impe family is sick and held up at the Crystal Golem Estates.
Okay. That's sorry, what was the name?
Van Impe.
Van Impe. Yep.
Lord Piamo. What else? You learn that you believe that Lord Davon Bane has left the city. He was previously staying at the Crystal Golem Estates. And I think that's more than 8 at this point.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8. We're good.
Okay. Cool.
This is awesome. By the way,
Spy Network?
I have a list of things. I have a to-do list of like, do you wish to? Like, I still have like for my previous like, Chebagast has a personal candy stash. That's on my list of actionable things. If I ever need to do something with Chebagast, it's hide a thing in his personal candy stash. Right?
Okay, spy on the Beast Tamers. Give me 4 dice.
All right. What do you got in your stables? 2 successes.
Okay, you find out that one of the gladiators that they have entered into the tournament of the Blood Rose is actually a giant constrictor snake that talks.
Is it called the World Serpent?
No, it's called Xanadu. It talks and casts spells.
Somebody rolled really well on their like 3d6 for the awakened animal.
And like your guys are like, no, we're not fucking with those beasts. Like if they talk now, no. And you kind of
That's it.
That's all you learned.
Xanadu the awakened spell. Actually, that note goes on the Ludus table. Gotta pull stables. The Beast Tamers. loves his beast, has a Megafint. He also has Xanadu, the talking, casting constrictor snake. Does Awaken get eaten by the stones? Or is it like a Naga?
I think it's an instantaneous effect, but
Do the instantaneous effects get eaten by the spells?
I don't think so. The change has already happened, I think.
It will be funny where it's like, I spent so much money. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's instantaneous.
Cool.
Can't dispel that shit.
This means that it won't dispel, like,
Cid,
blindness.
you're investigating the contents of the potion.
Yep.
Are you doing this by going and visiting other alchemists and trying to figure out what it is? Or is it just a conversation with Phineas? Or are you doing your own experimentation?
I'm having a conversation with Phineas.
Okay.
And depending how that goes, I'm going to go see Vogel. Well, I will send a note to Vogel with that information.
Are you going to send him the potion?
A couple of drops of it.
Okay, so Phineas is an alchemist. He's willing to aid you with this, although he has probably other things that he has to do. I'm going to give you a 2 dice bonus to your 14 dice or 13 dice already.
Okay.
Oh, it's 14. 14, yep.
16d6?
It'd be 15 total.
15, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay,
Oh, okay. So you spend 5 days
8.
examining, bringing it to your lab, taking tiny samples and like talking with other alchemists in the city, chatting with Phineas about this, making use of the tower resources. When you talk to other alchemists in the city, you kind of do it in an indirect way.
Yeah,
right?
because I don't want to let Goodman know that.
Yep. Like what would substrate of this particular, like you kind of you end up investigating and researching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. You make the discovery that the potion itself is to keep infernal outsider aberrant aquatic beings fed.
Do you have a devil's sperm lodged in your brain?
Infernal, aberrant, aquatic nutrient. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. That the creatures are in the potion, and it requires a bit of magnification to see them.
It is demon sperm.
There are little tiny, like squiddy looking things. They're almost see-through that are in the potion.
Okay. What do these things do?
You recognize that they are those 3 things. That the little tiny, like brine shrimp kind of like sea monkey, smaller than sea monkeys, requires a bit of magnification. Not like a microscope, but like a magnifying glass to actually see them. That was what your perception check was for earlier, if you notice the little tiny little fucking things.
Devil syphilis.
You don't know what their purpose is. You're not even sure how these creatures are here. They're obviously not from here.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I know that Goodman has got a connection to big
yes,
corpse breath,
Yep.
right? So, and I also have to investigate his ring. That's another thing.
These things, they're really puzzling. They don't seem to have a lot of they might make you sick a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
they just don't seem to have much of a purpose. Like, there's no great effect that's going to happen. They're not...
Are they food themselves?
Could be.
That's a fucking smart little thing there.
In fact, you are now... What's your knowledge nature? Do you have knowledge nature?
Yeah.
You have a rudimentary understanding of food pyramids, apex predators. This is some sort of abyssal brine shrimp.
Shrimp.
It means there's a sperm whale in Magnus.
They could probably live. The last thing, they could probably live on someone's blood. In fact, you've dropped a couple of drops of blood into the thing, and they seem to... They're able to subsist on blood.
Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna have to see what the hell's going on. Are these things? Do these things give off magic?
No, the potion does.
So what does the potion keeps them alive then?
Yeah.
It's a ring of sustenance in potion form.
Cid's gonna speak with.
Okay, so you
Slime it all back.
with all this, you have used perhaps a half of one of the 3 vials in your experimentation to figure out what this thing is. You know, a drop here, a drop there, a drop here.
Yes, Cid's more interested as to what they did.
Okay, so Cid has some answers, just not the answers he was expecting.
No. Yes, sorry. Cid is. So is it? Am I done for my turn? And
Well, yeah, there's some RP that we'll go through and make sure. So Ashoka was going to diplomacy with Lanziver. Just give me your 14 dice.
I am your best friend, and nobody is your friend except me because they're all out to get you. They're actually out to get you. Don't worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. More if I have advantage.
Okay. Lanziver now.
By the way, I've had shitty ass rolls. Just. Yep.
You do have advantage on this because of your stats.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes then.
Okay, Lanziver is now, you think, trusting of you, and he's reassured you that he has something in the works that's almost complete.
All right.
Can't wait to show you what I'm going to do. He is going to look like such an asshole. Have you registered with the tower yet? Perhaps the addition of your vote will make sure that my transition to the Grand Mage of Adipole will be complete. It'll be
should have
assured.
the paperwork transferred by now, and you will make an excellent Grand Mage.
Good. I assume you've subjected yourself to magical divinations. You are an impressive caster, Ashoka. I did not expect someone of your caliber to be lurking about the Ludi.
It is always useful to have multiple sets of skills.
Of course. I look forward to resuming my work as an artist in my retirement, but there is still much work to be done. Much work to be done indeed.
The next turn is going to be pushing for information on what he's doing. Need to know what it is. What is he doing? What's the plan? Because we're going to make it go wrong. It'll be awesome. Give me cash. Okay, he's my friend.
Yep. He hasn't told you exactly what, but he wants to surprise you with it. It's going to be a great surprise. You kind of get the gist that he's crafting something.
All right. Now, can I use the friendly status to, like, on my next turn? Would it be diplomacy to ask for stuff? Would it be?
Yep. Yeah, you can use diplomacy to ask for favors and information.
Cool, because that's what I want to do. I have to pee, but
Okay.
it's awesome. I want to do the thing. And it's going to be awesome. And I want to do it, and I want to dominate him, and I want to make him use the whole thing on himself, and it's going to be exploded, and it'll be in public, and it'll be real funny. Ha ha.
Good to have plans. Magnus, finishing training.
Yep.
I think you could just pay for it. And it's only a few days of training, so we'll say it's like 500 gold out of the Ludus, and Magnus has his...
Isn't there training in our Ludus?
Yeah, you've got all the training points on Sona for hit points, though. So just spend 500, and Magnus is all leveled. Which is a fraction of what it would have been.
Yeah. Okay, so...
And does Magnus want to have any RP encounters?
Yeah, he'll go see what's his name.
Don't know who that is. There's too many characters.
The commissioner.
The new commissioner or the old commissioner?
The old commissioner. Yeah, because as a prison buddy.
Right. Okay. So you march up to his house.
Yeah. Are these guys training to 11th or 12th?
I think they were training to 11th. Okay, you go to his home. You notice that the windows on the main floor are all boarded up and kind of barred up. The front door is heavy and locked and closed. Even some of the upper windows are all boarded up.
Hello. Hello. Knock, 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 knock.
Okay, so you knock a bunch of times. You do notice sort of a shadowy form sort of peeking out the window and looking down.
Hey, this is Magnus. It's Magnus. Hold on. Get out. Yeah, it's Magnus.
Okay, you actually hear he disappears from the window. It closes, and then you hear a muffled voice. I'm not receiving any visitors. Go away.
Yeah, but it's me. I mean, we were in prison together. Why would you turn me away? Come on. Let me in. We'll chat together.
I've never been in prison. Go away.
What are you talking about? We were there for weeks together.
I've been here for weeks.
Then who was... No, stop bullshitting me. You were in a room right next to my cell.
Okay, there's a kind of like a slide that kind of opens. You can see these two eyes kind of in the side. It is Dmitry Vaska. He's looking thinner and ragged and kind of frazzled. Doesn't look like he's bathed in a few days as well.
What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
It must be my doppel. My duplicate. The creatures are everywhere, Magnus. Be careful.
What are you talking about, doppelganger? There was a few, but we killed them a long time ago.
They're everywhere, Magnus. Now leave me be.
Oh, fuck.
As it slowly as it slowly dawns on Magnus that it wasn't Dmitry Vaska that was in the cell next to you.
But the church knew that. And the second that he got my blood, they let him go. Or he just left of his own accord.
Okay, Magnus is running off to do what?
He's looking for
He's
Phineas.
running off anywhere. What? Wait, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Magnus is running off. No.
Magnus went to chat